There's a special kind of pain that comes from waking up next to someone you can't stand anymore. You smile during dinner, you make plans for the weekend, but inside you're counting the days. Maybe you've asked yourself 100 times, why am I still here? Why can't I just leave? You're not alone. Millions stay in relationships that drain them, hurt them, or simply feel dead inside. This isn't just about love fading. This is about psychology, survival instincts, and invisible chains. By the end of this, you'll understand the 7 types of people who stay, and maybe you'll see yourself. But first, let's talk about why staying in a dead relationship isn't just emotional. It's biological. Your body treats a toxic relationship like a physical threat. Fight, flight, or freeze mode becomes your default. Chronic stress from a bad relationship literally shrinks your hippocampus, the part of your brain that helps you make decisions. That's why leaving feels impossible. Your brain isn't working at full capacity. It's in survival mode. A University of Utah study found that people in unhappy relationships have weakened immune systems and higher inflammation. So when you feel sick, exhausted, or mentally foggy in a bad relationship, that's not weakness. That's biology. Before we dive into the 7 types, let's figure out which one might be you. Answer these honestly. Question 1. When you think about leaving, what's your first feeling? Fear of being alone? Or fear of financial struggle? If you said loneliness, you might be type 1 or type 5. If money, probably type 3. Question 2. Do you ever think, maybe they'll change? Or, I've already spent so many years here. If it's they'll change, you're likely type 4. If it's too many years, that's type 2 energy. Question 3. When you imagine being single again, does it feel like freedom or like failure? Freedom? You might be type 7 waking up. Failure? That's type 6 speaking, or maybe type 1. Final question. If someone asked why you stay, could you give them an honest answer without justifying it? If you hesitated or started making excuses in your head, you're probably deeper in this than you realize. Now let's meet the 7 types. Listen carefully. One of them is you. Type 1. The person who'd rather be miserable with someone than face the silence of being alone. For you, the relationship is a life raft. Even if it's sinking, it's still better than drowning alone. You grew up believing love is better than loneliness, no matter what kind of love it is. Psychologists call this loneliness avoidance. Your brain treats being single as a threat worse than being unhappy. You scroll through social media and see everyone coupled up. Being alone feels like being left behind. But here's the truth. Being alone isn't the same as being lonely. And being together isn't the same as being loved. If this is you, your work isn't learning to stay. It's learning that you're enough on your own. Because the loneliest place isn't an empty apartment. It's lying next to someone who makes you feel invisible. Type 2. The person who's invested too much time, energy, and life to walk away now. You think, we've been together 8 years. If I leave now, doesn't that mean I wasted 8 years? But here's the fallacy. Those 8 years are already gone. Staying doesn't get them back. It just adds more years to the pile. Economists call this the sunk cost fallacy. We stay in bad situations because we've already invested so much. You've planned a future together. Kids, a house, retirement. Leaving means admitting that future was a fantasy. But staying doesn't make that fantasy real. It just keeps you trapped in a story that was never going to happen. If this is you, remember, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is now. Type 3. You don't stay for love. You stay because leaving would mean financial ruin, and you can't afford that. The rent is split. The car is in both names. Your credit card debt is shared. Leaving means starting over with nothing. Maybe you make less money. Maybe you gave up your career to support theirs. Now you're stuck in golden handcuffs. This is real. Financial abuse is real. And society won't judge the relationship, they'll judge you for not being independent enough. But here's what they don't tell you. There are resources. Shelters, legal aid, financial counseling for people exactly like you. Leaving might feel impossible financially, but staying costs you something money can't buy: your peace, your health, your future. If this is you, start small. A separate bank account, a skill that makes you employable, a plan. Financial freedom begins with one secret step. Type 4. You stay because you believe if you just love them hard enough, try one more time, they'll finally change. Every time they hurt you, they apologize. And you forgive them because this time feels different, but it never is. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. It's the same mechanism that keeps people hooked on gambling. The good moments keep you hooked. One sweet text after a week of silence. One nice dinner after months of neglect. You're not in love with who they are. You're in love with who you hope they'll become. And that person doesn't exist. Maya Angelou said, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Not the 10th time. The first." If this is you, your healing starts the day you stop waiting for them to change and start believing what they've already shown you. Type 5. You stay for the kids, because you believe a broken home is worse than a loveless one. But here's what research shows. Children don't need two parents under one roof. They need two parents who are healthy and present. Kids absorb everything: the tension at dinner, the silence in the car, the fake smiles. They know. Staying teaches them that love looks like resentment, that commitment means suffering, that this is what they should accept in their own relationships. A University of Virginia study found that children of divorce who see their parents become happier adjust better than those in high-conflict, intact homes. You're not protecting your children by staying. You're teaching them to sacrifice their happiness for appearances. If this is you, consider. The greatest gift you can give your children is showing them what it looks like to choose yourself and your peace. Type 6. Deep down, you don't believe you deserve better. This relationship feels like what you're worth. Maybe you grew up hearing you weren't good enough. Maybe someone convinced you that you're lucky anyone loves you at all. So when your partner treats you poorly, part of you thinks, well, at least they stayed. That's more than I deserve. But self-worth isn't something someone gives you. It's not earned through suffering or by being chosen by someone else. Your worth was there before this relationship. It'll be there after. It exists whether they see it or not. Leaving this relationship doesn't mean admitting you're unlovable. It means finally believing you deserve actual love, not scraps. If this is you, write this down. I deserve to be loved in a way that doesn't hurt. Read it until you believe it. Type 7. You can't leave because you don't know who you are without them. Your identity is completely fused with this relationship. Your hobbies are their hobbies. Your friends are their friends. Even your dreams are built around them. Psychologists call this enmeshment. You've lost the boundary where you end and they begin. The thought of leaving feels like erasing yourself, because in a way, you did erase yourself to make this relationship work. But here's the truth. The person you were before still exists. Buried maybe, forgotten possibly, but not gone.
Rediscovering yourself isn't starting over. It's remembering. Who were you at 16 before you met them? What made you laugh? What did you dream about? If this is you, leaving isn't losing yourself. It's finding yourself again. And that person, they've been waiting for you. Before we continue, let's destroy 3 myths about staying in bad relationships that society keeps repeating. Myth 1. Relationships take work, so if you're struggling, you're just not trying hard enough. Truth. Healthy relationships require effort, yes, but toxic ones require sacrifice. There's a difference between watering a garden and bleeding into one. Myth 2. If you really love them, you'd stay no matter what. Love is unconditional. Truth. Love should be unconditional, but presence in a relationship should not. You can love someone and still leave. Love doesn't require you to stay and suffer. Myth 3. Leaving makes you a quitter. Strong people stick it out. Truth. Knowing when to walk away from what's destroying you is not weakness. It's the strongest thing you can do. It's choosing life over slow death. These aren't just theories. Let me share 2 real stories from people who lived this. Names changed for privacy. Sarah, 34, stayed for 9 years. She was type 2 and type 3 combined. Too much time invested, couldn't afford to leave. She told me, "I finally left when I realized my daughter was learning that women accept disrespect. That was my breaking point." It's been 2 years. She works 2 jobs, lives in a smaller place, but she says, "I'm free, and my daughter sees what self-respect looks like now." Michael, 41, type 4. He stayed 18 years waiting for his partner to stop drinking, to get help, to become the person he married. He left last year. He told me, "I finally realized I can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. I had to save myself instead." Now that you've seen yourself in one of these types, here's what to actually do. Not someday. Starting today. If you're type 1, the fear of loneliness type, start building a life outside this relationship. 1 coffee date with a friend. 1 hobby alone. If you're type 2, sunk cost, make a list of what staying will cost you in the next 5 years. Not what you've lost, what you'll lose. If you're type 3, financially trapped, research local resources today. Domestic violence hotlines, legal aid, shelters. Write down 3 numbers. If you're type 4, hope addict, write down every time they've promised to change and didn't. Look at the pattern. Believe it. If you're type 5, staying for kids, talk to a family therapist, not a couples counselor, someone who can help you understand what's actually best for your children. If you're type 6, low self-worth, start therapy. Not eventually, now. Your worth isn't negotiable, but your belief in it needs rebuilding. If you're type 7, identity fused, make a list of 3 things you loved before them. Reconnect with one this week. Remember who you were. Here's the hard truth. No one can make you leave. Not me, not your friends, not even your therapist. Only you can choose that. But you don't have to do it alone. Share your story in the comments. Which type are you? What's keeping you stuck? You'll find people who understand. People who've been exactly where you are. And some who made it out and are living proof it's possible. If you want to go deeper, join our Discord community. It's not just a server. It's a space where people get real about this stuff. Next week, we're covering the psychology of people who keep breaking their own promises to themselves. Subscribe so you don't miss it. If this video opened your eyes, hit like. It tells the algorithm to show this to someone else who needs to hear it right now. Remember, staying isn't always love, and leaving isn't always giving up. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is save yourself.